You are staring at a phone screen that hasn't lit up in 3 hours, knowing exactly why you're hurting and exactly who to blame. You feel the familiar hollow ache in your chest. It is a specific type of exhaustion. You have been here before, perhaps with a different name or a different face, but the narrative is identical. Your brain is currently screaming that you have made another catastrophic mistake in judgment. But there is a deeper, more disturbing truth lurking beneath your conscious frustration. Your brain did not just fail you, it was designed to betray you. By the time you finish this, you will uncover the repetition compulsion. You will finally understand the hidden biological mechanism that makes your most intense pain feel like the safest home you've ever known. Consider your choice in partners not as a series of accidents, but as a hardwired driving route you take every single day. If you drive the same road for years, you stop noticing the potholes, you stop questioning the turns. Your brain values the familiar over the functional. This is the foundation of what Sigmund Freud called the repetition compulsion. It is an unconscious neurotic defense mechanism, a futile attempt to rewrite a history that ended poorly decades ago. You are not looking for a partner. You are looking for a symbolic stand in for the person who first taught you what love felt like, even if that person taught you that love was synonymous with neglect. Why would any sane person pursue a relationship doomed to fail? The answer lies in your owner-child complex. Depth psychologists like Haynes Kohut noted that when your early needs for validation and protection were not adequately met, you developed a narcissistic wound. As an adult, you are compulsively drawn to people who mirror the specific traits of the parent who wounded you. You believe, quite irrationally, that if you can finally get this new, distant person to love you, you will somehow heal the original injury. You are a builder trying to fix a leaning tower by adding more weight to the side that's already collapsing. Does that feel like freedom to you? This search for healing through repetition creates what researchers call the Anxious-Avoidant Trap. It is the most studied and most painful attachment pattern in existence. If you have an anxious attachment style, you were likely raised by someone whose warmth was inconsistent, sometimes there, sometimes gone. You learned that connection requires constant monitoring. You became a master of emotional surveillance, hyper attuned to every slight shift in your partner's tone. Naturally, you are drawn to the avoidant partner. They are mysterious and emotionally unavailable. Their distance triggers your attachment alarm, making the pursuit feel intense and meaningful. The avoidant partner, meanwhile, was likely raised by a caregiver who was overwhelmed by emotional closeness. They learned that self-reliance is the only true safety. When you move closer to them, they experience it as engulfment. They pull away to protect their independence. This withdrawal confirms your deepest fear of abandonment, which causes you to pursue them even harder. It is a self-sustaining cycle of misery. You are a cat chasing a laser pointer that is being controlled by your own hand. You will never catch it, but the chase feels like the only thing that proves you are alive. This dynamic is reinforced by a chemical cocktail that mimics the effects of high-grade narcotics. When an abusive or distant partner occasionally treats you with kindness, your brain experiences intermittent reinforcement. This is the exact mechanism that makes gambling addictive. The love bombing stage floods your system with dopamine and oxytocin. You feel a rush of relief so powerful that it overshadows the memories of the abuse. You begin to view the trauma bond as a safety net rather than a cage. Dr. K, a noted psychiatrist, explains that our attraction is often a samskar, an emotional wound from the past trying to compensate for its own existence. You might think you want a power couple dynamic, but you are actually selecting for status to prove you are no longer the loser you felt like as a child. You are choosing a partner based on their resume rather than their reality. You are treating a human being like an Amazon purchase, looking for 5-star reviews while ignoring the fact that you can't tolerate the risk of a real messy connection. Have you noticed that the people who treat you with genuine peace and respect feel boring to you? That boredom is actually your dopamine starved brain protesting the lack of drama. You have become addicted to the emotional ups and downs. If a relationship doesn't make you jittery with anxiety, your brain tells you it isn't real love. You are a driver who has spent so much time in high speed chases that a steady 60 miles per hour feels like standing still. You mistake the adrenaline of fear for the butterflies of romance. In one famous study, couples who met on a rickety wooden bridge felt a deeper bond than those on a stable stone bridge. Why? Because they confused their physical fear of falling with an empathic connection to each other. You are falling, but you think you are flying. This addiction leads to the volcano effect in family and romantic ties. You absorb hundreds of micro traumas, small criticisms, ignored boundaries, and dismissive tones. You rehearse conversations in your head before meetings, shrinking parts of yourself to keep the peace. You tell yourself you are being patient, but you are actually losing your identity. You are going back to an Humpty well over and over again, hoping that this time somehow you will draw water. You stay because of the hope cycle, a belief that if you just try harder or stay calmer, the other person will finally change. But people do not change because you hope they will. They change when their patterns hurt them more than they hurt you. Shetty points out that falling for someone's potential is merely a projection of your own unfinished childhood needs. You are in love with a ghost, a version of them that only exists in your imagination. You are holding a subscription to a relationship where you never read the fine print, and now you are shocked by the hidden costs. You cannot be someone's guru or their gardener if they refuse to seek the light. Your sunshine will only burn them. James Masterson described the abandonment depression that keeps people locked in these toxic roles. You are likely assigned a role in your family: the golden child, the scapegoat, or the parentified child who had to take care of their own parents. You grew up believing love must be earned through sacrifice and silence. When you choose a partner who hurts you, you are simply stepping back into the costume you've worn since birth. You are not a human being to them. You are a family function. The modern world exploits this glitch. Algorithms and social media bombard you with distorted versions of success and aggressive intimacy, making you feel perpetually discontent. You engage in monkey branching, jumping from one dopamine heavy spark to the next because you don't know how to transition to a deeper, more stable form of love. You are chasing eros and dopaminergic love while running away from the peace of agape or commitment. You want a guarantee of success in a world where a committed relationship is, by definition, a massive, unmitigated risk. Breaking this bond requires what Marsha Linehan calls radical acceptance. It is the practice of accepting reality exactly as it is, not as you wish it were. You must stop mistaking your covert control for love. Trying to fix someone is often just a way to manage your own fear of uncertainty. You are the environment, not the mirror. You can offer support, but you cannot provide transformation. If the soil is nourishing, but the plant refuses to grow, you must eventually stop watering it. Realize that distance is not a declaration of war. It is a strategy of survival. Whether you choose low contact, the gray rock method of becoming emotionally unreactive, or no contact, you are reclaiming your mental health from a cycle that was never yours to fix. You are grieving the relationship you never had, which is a unique, lingering H known as ambiguous loss. It is the heartbreak of choosing your well-being over your history. Your brain will try to pull you back. It will tell you that you are being disloyal or selfish. It will crave the hit of the intermittent reward. But you must understand that your self-worth is inversely correlated with the value you place on the opinions of those who hurt you. The lower your self-worth, the more their neglect feels like a verdict on your soul. You are not broken because you were drawn to the fire. You were programmed to find warmth in the only place you knew it existed. But you are now the programmer. You can choose to stop inheriting the pain you were never meant to carry. You can choose to be the person who finally walks away from the empty well. You are staring at a phone screen that hasn't lit up in 3 hours, but for the first time, you are starting to realize that the silence is not a question you need to answer. It is the sound of your own freedom. You will finally stop staring at a phone screen that was never meant to light up for you.